Today on What's Next.
I really hope people take away the power of having a community. Those individuals who you can lean on.
We were both members of the racing team. That's how we met.
And I wanted to meet somebody with a healthy lifestyle that was running and did the things I liked.
You have a loved one, somebody who's experienced a life change. I really don't want a wing and a prayer. I want to do this with a professional.
Hello and thanks for joining us today on What's Next. I'm Mark Middleton here with Bill Schaefer, Amy Sweezy, and Secily Wilson. And of course, this is the show that tells the positive, uplifting, and inspirational stories of how we can all make the rest of our lives the best of our lives. And guys, as you know, we've got so many mantras, so many words to live by plastered all over the walls here at GBHQ. So do you have a favorite, Bill?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me, because for me, this is an easy one. I think about this one all the time. It's learn to say yes. Because when you learn to say yes, that's where opportunity is. That's where excitement is. That's where adventure is.
My favorite has to be what's right here behind me, 2 spots, defy. This was a famous word that was used by our dear friend Wendy Chioji, who used to do some work with Growing Bolder, and unfortunately she lost her battle with cancer a couple of years ago. But Wendy defied to the end, and not in a defiant, negative, angry way, in a I am gonna work hard and live my best life every day. And she was such an inspiration, I know, to all of us.
I loved all of those. And for me, I think I've loved always find your tribe. It's such an important thing to think about. Who was in your inner circle? How do you help those in your community? And how do those around you lend support when you need it the most? This very topic was the very focus of my first ever TEDx talk that I presented to a live audience right here in Central Florida. Today, we're in Eustis, Florida for TEDx Eustis. I'm super excited to join 15 other speakers on this stage for the very first time, all with amazing stories worth sharing and hopefully inspiring others to do and be something different. This has been unforgettable. This experience gives me a different understanding of the process of what it takes to get to this stage. It's been 6 months of planning, prepping, redoing my speech, all of that. But now it's all coming to fruition on this stage, and oh my gosh, it's exciting. Today, I really hope people take away the power of having a community, a tribe, a posse, those individuals who you can lean on and turn to, who can encourage you. I want them to know that there is power in numbers, because when you're isolated, that's when you deal with the thoughts and the words that are in your head that cause you to think negatively. But when you're with power and numbers, you can change the world. I am never alone, even when I feel that I am. So when you're at a busy intersection and you have to make a decision, reach for your lifeline. Your community gives you purpose. Your community gives you hope. Your community gives you so much joy. That was amazing. A little nerve-wracking, but amazing. I literally felt like I was growing bolder in my own skin because I've done something that I've never done before. I will say this experience taught me grace. I'm such a perfectionist and I don't always get it right. And even in the moment on that stage, there were a few mishaps, but I have to give myself grace because I did something that so many other people wish they could. From my talk about finding your tribe, I hope people walk away understanding and knowing the value of having that tribe, that community, that circle of genius right there with you, because that's how you get your power. That's how you move forward. Don't stay isolated, because you need that circle, that tribe. I met so many wonderful people at TEDx Eustis, and it felt like my very own circle expanded from that event alone. So I want to know, how about you guys? We get to tell so many inspirational stories here at Growing Bolder. Is there one story that stands out where you each witnessed that power of finding your tribe?
You know, for me, I was lucky enough to get to go in the villages. There's a place called Our Moment Cafe. And once every other week, dementia patients and their caregivers get together for these activities. And to watch the caretakers bond with each other, because we don't realize it, that they're the ones that are isolated, they're the ones that are staying at home. They have to think about where are they going to take their loved one, where is it okay to go and where can't you go, and to watch them bond and just commiserate together and share notes and tips and things that worked and things that didn't. Man, you talk about finding a tribe. There is no better example of a great group of people than all of the caregivers that are out there.
I'm actually going to say Ruth Hamilton. She was one of the first Growing Bolder people that I learned about when Mark and Bill kind of started doing this whole Growing Bolder thing. And Miss Ruth, you guys found her, and she was not talking much. She wasn't interacting with people much. She was well into her 100s. And from you guys hanging with her and becoming part of her tribe, she then created this huge tribe and became the oldest video blogger on record. Am I right with that statistic, Mark?
You are right, 109 years old. She was great, and it was fun to be a part of her resurrection, if you will. And Cecily, let me add my congratulations to you. Over my shoulder here is a wall of words, and one of those says, "Do not fear failure," and you embraced that when you stepped forward and took that risk. So congratulations there. And in terms of a story that I saw community generated, I know this is going to sound self-serving, and I apologize for that, but I've taken a video camera with me when I compete in swimming meets. And in between my own races, I often will shoot stories on other swimmers because they're there and they're amazing. And that makes me feel more a part of what is an incredible community when I can get out there and on the fly share their stories to inspire others.
For anyone that's my age and running, I think that we do set an example that you can do that. Keep active, keep moving, you'll continue to be healthy.
Every moment is once in a lifetime. I love that. But when we can't be together, it's hard to share those moments. That was before I found an easy way for Mom to connect with us. Oh, the memories. Their first date, to summers at the lake, to ball games, to birthdays, it's all shared with her grandpa. And that brings me happy tears. Mom, were your ears burning?
Oh, you know they were.
Did you get the pictures that Shelby sent you?
I did, and I felt like I was right there with you.
Life is about transitions, and there is an art and a science to navigating them. They're about shedding what matters least so we can focus on what matters most. And that's why Growing Bolder is thrilled to partner with Caring Transitions, the nation's most trusted total solutions provider for seniors in these times. Whether it's home cleanouts, downsizing, relocation, estate sales, and so much more, one call handles it all. To get started with a free consultation, visit caringtransitions.com.
Welcome back to What's Next. I'm Bill Schaefer. When we find other people who think like we do, who share an interest or a goal that we have, life can get so much richer. You know where we see that happen all the time? All of these 5K races that are happening around town, especially at the Track Shack running series. Yeah, we all know that running's good for your health, your fitness level, your weight. What we don't realize is how much more it does because of the surroundings. Caring, supportive, like-minded people, and yes, a love of running can spark other kinds of love. Cupid doing its thing, particularly in the Growing Bolder division powered by Florida Blue Medicare. Why is it that so many people get up before the sun on a weekend day off to participate in a run? Well, obviously it's about fitness, and for some it's the challenge. But for the lucky ones, it's about love. Yes, running can be just as effective as Cupid's arrow. It can ignite the spark that creates relationships. And that's why Track Shack has a Run for Love. Because you just don't know. Somewhere in that sea of determination, exhaustion, and sweat could be the perfect person for you. That's the way it happened for Kitty and Jim Musante, who still remember.
Our running careers go back 40 years. We first met, I guess in the 80s, and we've been married 12 years. She was always the prettiest girl out there. She had a very good figure. She was eye-catching.
I always thought of him as just this great guy. I'd see him on the podium. We'd run into each other at Boston, and he was a fantastic runner, and he was pretty cute too.
Dawn and David Smith have been married for 35 years, and for them, it also began thanks to running.
The track shack used to have like racing teams, and we were both members of the racing team. That's how we met.
Yeah, and I won a dinner for two, and I invited him. So that's how we got on our first date. And I thought he was around my age. I'd like to know him more, and I wanted to meet somebody with a healthy lifestyle that was running and did the things I liked. So, and then we went to dinner, and so that was our first date. And I figured if I didn't ask him, he wasn't going to ask me.
And staying active, both couples agree, can be the fuel that keeps relationships running.
I think there's that no giving up, that perseverance, the day in, the day out, and you don't want to fail, you don't want to lose, you want to keep what you have. It's something that we share, but we share the good, and the bad, and the ugly, as they say.
And that's one thing that every person at this race has in common. They like to run. But they will tell you it isn't always fun, and sometimes they have to push. But like any good relationship, if you put in the work, the reward makes it all worthwhile.
I can tell when there's periods where I don't run, just because I'm injured or whatever. I just don't feel good. When you're running, you're feeling good, your blood's flowing, you feel good about yourself.
For anyone that's my age and running, I think that we do set an example that you can do that. Keep active, keep moving. You'll continue to be healthy. If you don't move, you're not running or you're not walking, you're going to get weaker and you're going to age. So, keep as active as you can.
The benefits of staying active. It's not just good for your body, it's good for your heart too. It's never too late to get up, get moving, get some new people in your life too. You never know where it's going to take you.
All right, from a running community that gets together just about every Saturday to a community that gets together every Sunday, our bold social clip of the week is taking us to church with some folks who just want to have a good night. We're not made to withdraw from life. We're made to seize each moment and to value every breath. We're made to be bold, to take risks, and pursue our passions. Don't identify with limitation. Embrace possibility. Stop growing older. Start growing bolder. Find your what's next at growingbolder.com. Welcome back to What's Next as we continue to explore the benefits of having a supportive community during important times, because we will all eventually face periods of transition in our lives, and whether it's looking to downsize our home, to relocate to live closer to family, or maybe to take advantage of the benefits offered by assisted living communities. And these times can be extremely stressful, difficult to navigate, But the good news is you don't have to do it alone. We recently sat down with an expert in that field by the name of Carrie Coombs. She's a senior strategic advisor for Caring Transitions, which is the nation's leading total solutions provider when it comes to downsizing, to relocating, to home cleanouts, and a whole lot more. They're here to let us know that no matter where we're located all across the nation, they are ready to support us during life's many transitions. We live in, to a large extent, a DIY world. People want to do everything themselves. Yeah. Talk a little bit about why trying to transition by yourself, or even with just the help of maybe your child or your spouse or your sister-in-law, is not necessarily a good idea. What can a professional bring to that experience?
Well, I tell you, one of my favorite sites to get a good laugh or two is the DIY fail. They're having a little fun at their own expense to say, maybe I shouldn't have tried that on my own. Now think about this for a second. You have a loved one, somebody who's experienced maybe a change of condition, a life change, whether it be physical or emotional or financial, and then you throw in the emotions of that change. And then you're gonna try and do the DIY experience. As a family influencer, and I am one myself, I am an adult child, and I experience these transitions and changes in my own world. I really don't want a wing and a prayer to come into play. I want to do this with a coach, an advisor, a professional, so that I can focus on my loved one and let them know that this is a good thing. This is a good time, and I'm here by your side, and it's going to be okay. Let me focus on that, and I'll let the professionals do the packing, sorting, downsizing, cleaning, preparing, unpacking, and all the things that they are just great at while I go and be a really good daughter. And with Caring Transitions, you're getting all of that. You're getting professionals who come into your space. They understand where you're going and what you want to do, and start developing an individualized plan. And I think that when you have the right people on your team, people who understand your goals, then you can get into your community or your downsized location, your new experience, and you can do it with a type of gusto and fervor that says, I'm here with purpose.
Was pretty valuable insight there about an important stage of life. Mark, why do you think it is that so many people who do try to tackle these transitions on their own struggle with it so much?
It's a great question, Bill, and I think it's because we all think we are who we used to be. Because we did it alone when we were in our 20s and our 40s and our 50s, and of course we had less stuff. We didn't have the emotional attachments to so many things. We weren't downsizing, we weren't moving away from friends, and we were moving into assisted living. We weren't 60 or 80 years old. These can be very difficult, but they can give us a much higher quality of life. And when we have professional help, it ends up being a very positive transition.
You're likely to be faced with helping a loved one through a life transition, and Caring Transitions can partner with you during this time. We offer a customized approach to each individual for downsizing, home cleanouts, estate sales, online auctions, and more. With more than 280 locations nationwide, our experts are here to provide compassionate care and help you manage it all. Learn more with a free consultation at caringtransitions.com.
Every moment is once in a lifetime. I love that. But when we can't be together, it's hard to share those moments. That was before I found an easy way for Mom to connect with us. Oh, the memories. Their first date, to summers at the lake, to ball games, to birthdays. It's all shared with her grandpad. And that brings me happy tears. Mom, were your ears burning?
Oh, you know they were.
Did you get the pictures that Shelby sent you?
I did, and I felt like I was right there with you.
Welcome back to What's Next. It's time now for Your Take, where we interact with our more than 1 million Facebook followers every single week. We put out a question on our page and then share your responses right here. This week, we asked you to share a photo of a community that you belong to and tell us why that group is important to you. Bill Shin shared this photo, writing, "This is one of my many senior softball teams over the past 12 years, 60s, 70s, and 80 years young, playing for the love of the game." That's fantastic, isn't it? Hey, Bob Larson shared this image and said, "I teach a class catered to senior men, and we work on balance and stability and strength." And he says, "These men are amazing." Yes, Bob, yes, they are. And Dean kept it short and sweet. Friends, family, and friends that are family. Great responses. Cecily, what about you?
I have my community, my Rotary family, my Lake Buena Vista Rotary Club, and there they are celebrating Romel's 50th birthday, all in the Great Gatsby. And I love this community because it's all about service to others, and that's our whole mantra, service before self.
Very nice. I actually chose my weather community. I'm a meteorologist, for those of you who don't know, and so I have worked with people in the weather community for some of them up to 30 years I've known. Not just television weather, but also National Weather Service, the private sector. So a lot of meteorologists from all over, and we can get together at these conferences and meet up and be able to kind of commiserate about things that maybe other people don't understand. So that's been a really important community for me in my career over the years.
And I've heard, Amy, that meteorologists sure know how to party too. You guys may recognize some of the people in mind because it's the Growing Boulder community. There is no community more supportive, more enriching, more motivating, more inspiring than Growing Boulder. I appreciate every one of you watching, and certainly every one of us there in the picture.
Bill, I am glad you used that photo because I wanted to do it myself, so thank you for pulling that out and calling us out. This is a photo, though, of one of my many tribes in my Masters Swimming bigger tribe, and you can see why I like this one. I mean, why not? That's 1984 Olympic gold medalist Rowdy Gaines, a former University of Wisconsin swimmer, and then 1992 Olympic gold medalist Martin Zubero, and we had just set a new Masters Swimming world record in the 200-meter medley relay, and you know, that's a smile that you just can't fake. Honestly, folks, it was something that I never even thought was possible until I plugged into that tribe, until I became a part of that community, and hanging out with individuals who inspire us helps us set goals beyond what we ever thought possible. It gives us a sense of purpose, it gives us motivation, and it holds us accountable. And when we face challenges or setbacks, having a group of people who understand our struggles gives us energy. It helps us stay positive. So we hope you are part of our tribe, and together we can help one another create what's next.